notes were that Nephew was just looking at right now?
Drink water.
Drink water. Okay, he does have a huge bottle of water with him, yes.
I mean, it's only halfway
I
done.
think he also has boba on the floor too, so that is definitely a power-up.
Okay. Right. The guys are locked in. Oh, he locked into JP.
We are going to JP. The mind games. We are seeing the JP.
We haven't seen a JP. Actually, no, tell a lie, we have.
That's so interesting because I always felt like JP players said Jury was not a good matchup for JP.
In Season 1, yes, but he's kind of come back to his former glory, or at least close to it. Some very cool changes over the past patch with the Terry update. But now you're going to be a little bit more creative. So I want to see what DCQ does with Lubushka, especially if it comes down to it.
And this might be something that we mentioned psychologically, right? When you're expecting a matchup and you don't get the other one, but as you mentioned earlier, Nephew has been so on point with these perfect parries.
Oh, lovely conversion. I haven't seen that one before, and it actually dished out a fair bit of damage there, Sherry.
We like those whip punishes, and this is the spacing that Jury wants to be at. This right there, right under that timer, is where she gets all the whip punishes she wants, and she's able to keep the plus frames if you lock one of her normals, and she cancels it into a fireball.
Being bombarded, being overwhelmed in the neutral and in the corner here, so DCQ is going to have to think about, that throw actually put him out of range. He can start playing the game now, so that was actually fortuitous for DCQ in that regard.
And you can see from DCQ end, he's actually not pressing his sequence buttons as much because he's gotten perfect parry twice already. He's kind of just doing one button at a time now, just in case she does try to tap parry.
Well, tap parry indeed, doesn't get it against that OD departure here, but trapped in the corner, tried to get a bait there, but Nephew doesn't tech unless called for.
Another perfect parry. Look at Nephew just slowly walking out of the corner, trying to catch him with a low forward.
Swipe.
DCQ answers with his own whip punish, and this
He might have to splurge this for level 1. He's going to need the level 1 to close it out.
worth it.
Worth every penny. Crack open the piggy bank and use as many dimes as need be.
We'll check on the drivers, but Nephew just trying to walk forward and clip him with her own low forward. One of the best in the game. Oh, crouch strong, okay?
Well, the closer you are, the video game does change because you eliminate drive rush, less of a drive rush cancels. It's all about your buttons this time. You've got to worry about the perfect parry, but when you actually make JP a little bit more uncomfortable than normal, drive rush in for the crouching medium punch into the stride bob. He's trying to get into tech and he's not biting.
Yeah.
You have to grab him or do something else.
Finally, the drive rush does work out for Nephew, and we're going to dump the level 3 just to get some more damage on the board, but also gain that drive mirror back, putting Nephew into the green again.
That's what he needs. He can still do a drive rush overhead, but I'd wait. There's a throw. There's a projectile, and he's still chased him down because that fireball forces you to move, and that should close out game 1 here with that double drive rush conversion, and DCQ is going to have a long, hard shareholder meter in his mind to figure out what character he's going to continue to set with.
I was going to say, do you think that was just the first game? So technically you can just go JP again, but we are going to stage select. We are going back to the character select, and we might go with the M.Bison. Yep, we are.
Here's the thing. JP is a character where he used to be death by 1,000 hammers, then it turned into death by 1,000 cuts. And I've said this before. The more damage you do, the scarier you are, and potentially the more consistent you can be in the game. He needs that firepower. He needs to bring out the cannon.
Yeah.
Bring out the cannon.
I mean, this is a real cannon. We're talking about 2-hit touch of death here.
He needs that. And the thing is as well, I think he kind of shied away from Bison the first game, obviously to test the waters, dip your toes in that water there, but also it's defensive issues. I have amnesia, which he actually didn't introduce amnesia at all. Now, he has to go back to what he was doing yesterday, because between him and Hot Dog, they were backdashing, they were holding up, integrated one drive reversal wake up here and there, but I'm pretty worried for his defensive choices with Bison more so than JP, Sherry.
Well, I mean, so as you mentioned, M.Bison's defense isn't that good. That's why he has to rely so much on the neutral spacing and like the backdashing, the movement, the up backs. But DCQ already getting the heavy bomb, but Nephew getting the hit, so losing that heavy bomb on her.
See,
nice backdash.
I tell you, there's a perfect parry. I told you the professional thief is here, and it's working out really well. Shouts to Neff.
But you really have to change your defensive options when you don't have a reversal of some sort. And the wake-up super is going to connect.
Interesting. He's letting DCQ, I'm not scared to do a defensive choice when you plant the bomb on me, but that gives DCQ more than enough information. The overhead comes out. And closes out this round here. This is being worse for wear. It's not completely torrid just yet for DCQ. Oh, and yes, you can do that over the Fuha. Me pressing the counter hit conversion.
Yep. Man, Nephew not afraid to just let it rip even if it's burning him out.
because he's got the one. As more rounds you get, the more mistakes and more risk you can take in a game like this. That's why rounds, no matter how minuscule it can be, you need that margin.
Look at the spacing, trying to walk up throw, but DCQ checking with the crouch jab.
Forward throw. Is he going to threaten the stun? Yeah, he's threatening the stun. He's trying to get into tech. Dude, Nephew is too disciplined. You got to do something else.
Yeah, Nephew has not got shimmied once yet. You really have to start throwing him. Just keep on throwing him if that's the case.
But when you start throwing him, you might wake up with a jump medium punch. Find out.
That's true. That is Nephew special. Look at this DCQ burnt out already.
Right, overhead.
Rush overhead. We're going to dump it into...
He's going to get the level 3 in time, Sherry, and that's going to be a 2-0 here for Darkness. He showed up, and he did say, if I lose with the onesie, I'm changing the costume. He's 2-0 up.
Hasn't lost yet, but man, I'm wondering, because we didn't see any overheads against his JP, right? But we've seen 2 overheads come out so far against Bison, and I'm wondering if it's just because Bison is a charge character, you're so used to holding down back.
No, I think the thing is, for me, it's easier said than done. When a drive rush cancel happens, stand up. They're not gonna do a significantly delayed low like Guy, or you have to stand up, but it's very hard because you expect people to finish their combos there. But it's hard because in the mid-range, Nephew's movement has been really good. Using the fireball, walk speed, dash, drive rush. It's hard to maintain and keep that in the cycle of options you have to be paying attention to. So yeah, all right, the CEO decision has to be made right now.
Yep, this is it. This is the last game for DCQ, so I do think he should stick with the M.Bison. I think he just needs to switch the way that he approaches the neutral.
I agree with that. I'm going to tack on something as well. He needs to get it out of his head that Nephew's going to tech. He thinks Nephew's going to tech.
Oh, no. No, I see. We're going with JP. We're going back to the first character.
So he tried the death by 1,000 cuts.
Maybe we're going to see the amnesia this time.
Listen, DCQ in recent time against top players, his amnesia hasn't been particularly good. Oh dear, he's asleep at the wheel. Oh no.
Not yet. Okay. Another forward throw.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
3, 4. We finally got the backdash on the 4th one. Okay.
Because he had no choice, that's why. Let's see if he can get a combo. He might have to play from here for a little while, but he's got to be careful of a drive rush.
Oh, and he gets shimmied. How many times are you going to take the throw and then eventually you get shimmied in the last interaction?
Dude, Nephew's exposing his game plan, his future plans, everything.
Yeah, Nephew's got a huge read on him right now. I don't know how DCQ is going to switch it up. Or we have to see amnesia at some point. I think that might be
from this, because if he does the fuzzy, he's done. Let's find out. Empty jump low on the fuzzy. He goes low. Good block there from DCQ. He's got to make a choice.
Here's the defense. Okay. We're gonna wake up parry, build some meter back.
Yeah, he's still not doing it. Please do not do it. Please do not do it. Because he's got no choice at this point. No cancel there from Nephew.
There's the amnesia.
He's got something. He needs a lifeline here, Sherry.
I mean, he's building up the 3 bars. We do have a level 2 on deck. He's close to burning out. Nephew, didn't bite, but he did get burnt out for blocking Fierce.
Ops out of 5. We can actually chip him out.
That is a chip. And
there you have it, an absolute domination there from Nephew. Dark Neph showed up in the building there. He's not ramping. He gets in this point. He's hungry. He's ravenous for that qualification spot. And if he's got to make that amazing losers run, then so be it.
Man, that pressure was relentless. He was not giving DCQ any room to breathe, whether it was his JP or even his Bison.
You know what? That might be the tail of the tape there. That might be the main thing, regardless of what character he picked against her. I think Jury is some of the best at harassing people in this game.
Oh, easily. And again, that's the spacing that I was talking about. When you have them in the corner and you're right under the timer, that is where Jury excels. And like, DCQ really just couldn't get the space against him.
He couldn't really shift out a gear 1 with either character, which is very unfortunate, actually, because he's had an amazing weekend. But sometimes everybody hits a roadblock, or, you know, you see cow chops on the road. But it's one of those things where do you start? When you're 1-0 down, you can make the slight adjustment. The character swap was fine. You're 2-0 down, and both your characters have not given you any sort of second wind. How do you come back from that? How do you recuperate from that? And that's what was difficult. And you mentioned as well, the overheads, they're coming out in full force. Yep. I don't think he blocked one.
Nope, all 3 hit. And yeah, just really, Nephew was just able to find the space every single time, and then just had his back against the corner. And when you're playing 2 characters with no reversals, you really have to take all this pressure, unless you're willing to threaten with a super or of some sort, or amnesia, maybe earlier in the game, instead of taking 3, 4 throws in a row.
But he knows the ramifications of a poor amnesia. The amnesia was successful. I mean, we literally jinxed each other.
I mean, it was the very last interaction, right? So even if because the amnesia was successful, but the health deficit was so